Bill Ruckelshaus and I met a long, long time ago and been pretty darn good friends ever since.
I've known Bill Ruckelshaus probably since the late 80s or the early 90s. I met him when I became the director of the Department of Ecology for the state of Washington.
I've known Bill about half my life, which is not long enough.
I've known Bill for 30 years since I arrived in Seattle.
You know, the first time I really got to know Bill was probably within a year after 9/11/2001.
I met him at Weyerhaeuser when he first came out here to work for Weyerhaeuser.
There are several things you can't miss about Bill. One is he's got a wonderful light touch.
He is a very fine gardener, and one of his specialties growing dahlias. You plant well, you nurture well, and you watch growth and give it some guidance. You know, stake up the plants that are tipping over, give them every opportunity to succeed. And I think he does the same thing in the many controversies he's been involved with. You let the people who are involved ultimately find their way to solutions. You give them guidance, but you don't demand solutions. You nurture them to gain solutions. It's the same way with dahlias. So dahlias and controversies, in many respects, the same thing.
In every situation, he can disarm it by coming in with his humor and his lightness. His presence is part of that. His enormous head, you may not have noticed, but Bill has an enormous head. I mean, most people are 7 1/4 or something, and Bill is 8 9/10 or something. And he's towering, and so his very presence is something. And then when he has this light touch, it's beguiling. It disarms you. You can't be mad at Bill.
He can do what no one else can, and he can do it in a way that no one else has the capability that he does. His stature, his demeanor, his affability, his wit, his brilliance, his ability to bring everyone together. I don't know of anybody else who can do that.
And in a way, that serious side of Bill is sometimes missed, but it's that serious side that leads Bill into doing things like the Ruckelshaus Center, because he thinks that people share that rational element that he has inside him, and that things can always be solved if you start working together and finding out what you have in common and then working out to the edges.
But what he does is he makes people at the table rise to a bigger level to see how important it is for them to get over their past disagreements and solve problems and make things better for this and future generations. So we're all better off because of the work that he's done in the Ruckelshaus Center.
He has really brought the best of governance to the William D. Ruckelshaus Center. His impact will be far and wide because he really shows us that you can achieve consensus through collaboration, that you can bring parties who have never agreed before to the table, and you can actually get a durable result.
That is the beauty of the Ruckelshaus Center. That is the beauty of how the Ruckelshaus Center translates this capacity to bring disparate points of view together for common interests. That so epitomizes the beauty of Bill Ruckelshaus.
Well, I think America has these lasting values, and Bill has tried to represent those lasting values of how do you include all people. The world should be, and our country should be inclusive, not exclusive. How do you bring people together? How do you reach a consensus? Those type of things. And I watch young people. We work with young people all the time, in university programs and college programs, trying to teach them how to be leaders in the future. And I don't have any doubts about it that those skills that Bill has demonstrated are the skills that young people need as they go through life.
Bill Ruckelshaus has really been an inspiration for generations of students and of leaders. He really is the perfect example of somebody who cares amazingly about the world.
We use the term elder statesmen, elder stateswomen individuals that would rise above the political fray and look out for the betterment of the country or the state.
And I got to tell you, he is a model of public service. And thank goodness we all have him to look to and make ourselves proud, because public servants make an impact in the lives and the livelihood of the average citizen every single day. Bill Ruckelshaus did that masterfully, and he has shown us all to be proud of being a public servant, give it your all, and be successful, because you will then leave a legacy for generations to come.